Let's start. So obviously you trained in classical French cuisine.
That's correct, yes.
And I read that you went vegan around 2016 or so?
Yeah, just before actually 2016. This is when we started the journey here at Gauthier Soho to on our road to 100% veganism. But I started being vegan, I think it's 2015 or 2014, so it's quite a while ago.
And so what brought you to that path?
Well, there was many steps to my transformation, I would say. The first one was here at the restaurant. In 2012 and 2013, we had some manifestation outside the restaurant against our use of foie gras in our cuisine. And I feel really bad about that. But by then, back then, I was just gastronomic French restaurant in central London, cooking gastronomic food, and food I've been cooking for 20 years.
Yes.
And that was the only one I knew. But anyway, so we had some people every week outside the restaurant saying, remove the foie gras. Until one day I went to talk to them, and then I came back into the restaurant, and my staff asked me, so did you convince them to leave us forever, And I said, no, I've listened to them, and we are removing foie gras. So that was the first step. So we removed foie gras from a French restaurant, was in 2012 or 2013, was a big step. And then I almost by accident, I started to think about my relationship with animals as a chef, as a French chef, and how I was taught to use animal in my cuisine and in my identity as well. And I happened to read a book, a French book called Anti-Spéciste. And Anti-Spéciste, obviously, it's a book about our relationship with animal and how we should not make any difference between the animals, human and non-human, walking on this planet. And when I closed the book, I said, with what I know now about animal consciousness, there is absolutely no way I'm going to carry on profiting and profiting in a sense of the restaurant, and then obviously eating someone who does not want to die and to end up in a plate. And from what I gather, you had the same kind of
awakening.
Yeah, awakening or enlightenment, and then from that day,
it took me so long.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah, I know. We all feel bad about it, but we can't turn back time.
No.
So, but what we can do, like you do and like I do, is to make sure that any other day after this moment is a day where we are gonna work very hard to remove animal from anywhere, because of course. So reading this book, and so I decided to obviously close the book no more. So from that day I hadn't had any animal going through my body. That was of course. And then coming into the restaurant and deciding that we were going to change it to a 100% vegan place, regardless of what will happen, ready to if I had to lose everything, Of course I didn't want to. I did it. I did it instead and in stage, but until the day we were 100% vegan, and that was it.
Yeah, fantastic. So how did your peers in the culinary world respond to that?
Well, my peers, to be fair, they probably saw one less competitor.
Yeah, of course.
So I to be fair, I didn't get anything negative from my peers. They are all intelligent, chefs, especially in London, and they were all very, if it's, in a sense, if it's what I wanted to do, this is what I wanted to do, I think some of them thought it was very brave, but I didn't get anything negative from them, nothing at all, and I would not expect less from them, because it's, I think it's, and London is so diverse. I think in a sense it's nice to have a French gastronomic restaurant who specializes in French gastronomy but does not use any animal in its cooking, which is quite which is quite rare. And
yeah, and I think it actually takes more effort. It takes more innovation and more pioneering
yes,
of a mindset to attempt to do quality things, whether it's food or whether it's fashion, that
yes.
goes against the status quo of what everyone is so used to having at their fingertips.
Yes, absolutely. And as we were still selling a luxury experience, which smelled, felt, and looked so French. That's what we were still selling.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was important that our guests felt they were still consuming this high-end, luxurious product. And for us, the magical part was to when they finish a meal, thinking, oh, actually, I had the whole French experience, in a sense that there was a sommelier, there was a silver, there was a crystal, there was a long menu, there was research, it was reflecting the seasons, and it was delicious, and it tasted French, with the sauce, with the star in the middle of the dish, but yet there was no animals.
Absolutely.
And that was that was really
the reward.
The reward, but that's the test, because
yes.
every customer who came here and said, okay, well, so you are French gastronomic, but you don't use any animals. How is that possible?
Yes.
So
they're looking for places to maybe find to criticize.
Yeah, or to test.
To test.
But
yes.
I think we did very well, because although we lost a lot of our regular customers.
Really?
Yes, we lost 99% of our regular customers. But we got thousands and thousands of new customers
yes.
who were sharing the same view, on the future for animals, and they still wanted to enjoy a luxurious experience. They still wanted to eat something that tasted French.
Yes.
But they, just like me, did not want to eat any dead animals.
Absolutely. Veganism is about the environment.
Yes.
And although I would suggest, if that's sort of the driving force, then it's usually about being plant-based versus it being, an ethical approach. I gather that your approach is firmly steeped in ethics.
Yes, it's only for the animals, absolutely.
Yes. So how do you balance being an activist for animals with being an artist in the kitchen?
Well, I think that goes hand in hand, because one feeds the other. I wouldn't consider myself as an artist in the kitchen. I'm just a chef. I mean, one feeds the other. In fact, in deciding to remove animals was a massive surge of innovation and creativity in my cuisine, because suddenly I realized that I had to dig much deeper in order to create dishes that did not exist. So with my team and my other chefs, we were discovering a new planet. Like the caviar, yes, I've asked James to bring you, you can try take it to Paris.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, everything. So things that look like the kind of things, so that reflected the element, because that's so important in French gastronomy. French gastronomy is rooted in tradition, but it's also rooted in the soil of France, and not only the soil, but also the rivers, the seas, the grass, the herbs, the plants, and everything. And so the caviar is a pure product of the sea. So it's how do you transform? How do you eat the sea without eating the animals that live in the sea? And so we found out that this delicious caviar was the perfect. It just encapsulates everything, our own philosophy. You are still eating very much something that reflects, the planet, and that reflect the flavor of the sea, and it's gastronomic, it's luxurious, but doesn't impact the animals. So it's really
and the
really
impact
wonderful.
in particular of that animal.
Yeah,
and you see how
awful, yes.
it's
Absolutely atrocious. Yes,
it is a horror show, really.
Yeah.
I think you've maybe covered this, but you've spoken about wanting to make plant-based dining as aspirational as traditional French cuisine. My question was, what does that look like in practice? But I think you've really explained that in terms of the environment, the ingredients, the innovation that you put into every dish.
Yes, and I always repeat, it was discovering a new planet. like deciding to
I love that. Yeah.
deciding to develop menus and recipes around French gastronomy, using still the very much the seasonal ingredients we used to use, but bringing that to a level and to that we didn't know existed. And every day we are discovering something new. Every day we are amazed by what we can do without using animals. And every day we think, oh gosh, why didn't we do it before?
Yes. I've definitely found there's still a bit of a stigma around the word vegan.
Yes.
Be it in food or fashion. Also that sometimes there's an expectation with vegan offerings that they should be cheap. Have you come across that at all?
No, because I don't position myself in the world I live as, you know, I haven't removed the luxury from my product, and if anything, the beauty of being a creator of a vegan product, our customers pay a lot more for creativity than in the past, and so for us as chef, it's much more rewarding. Because they really pay for the creative skills and all the creative juice that the chef has to offer.
And the R&D that you're doing on a regular basis.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really and when you have a full restaurant and it's constantly full, you feel like life is fair. I think the human of tomorrow, this concept of veganism being cheap, and it's going to think, what is that? No, that's
it's
never
quite
come across.
ironic, really, because the resources that are available for legacy industries or legacy areas of industries, be it fashion or food, those resources are actually much cheaper because they're mass produced.
Yes.
Factory farming, for example,
absolutely.
Leather, you know, you can actually get very cheap raw ingredients.
Yeah.
So there's this real sort of delusion that goes on.
Absolutely, I can imagine. Yes,
society.
Yeah.
So I hope that in the future people don't see it that way. French cooking, usually steeped in butter, cream, cheese.
Yes.
How do you reinterpret those foundations in a vegan kitchen?
Well,
you don't need to go into all your ingredients.
No, absolutely. But I mean, obviously, the good news with all the research and development we have been doing is that we have managed to actually substitute some of the say eggs that we used, or cream, or butter, or some sort of fat that we use. We use a lot more seeds oil or olive oil, or rather than butter, for example.
Do you use aquafaba?
Oh yes, of course we do. We use aquafaba a lot. We use aquafaba in pastry. We use aquafaba in some of our sauces, in some of our cocktails. So it's chickpea is
an amazing ingredient.
It's a magical ingredient, and it's not only magical. It's it really is the perfect ingredients for the human. It's perfect, you know. Protein, perfect fibers.
Yes.
The amount of calorie in such a small little things is unbelievable. It's good for you. It's easy to digest. I mean, I can't think of a better ingredients. Yes. Maybe lentils, but that's.
I love lentils. Can you share one or two culinary techniques you're most proud of developing? I think the caviar might be one of them potentially.
So the caviar was one of the techniques, but it was a known techniques that we use, thinking that how can we encapsulate the flavor of the sea in one little bubble. Actually, the flavor of the sea is the flavor of the caviar. So it was, but that was one of our very proud moments when we could produce it on a large scale.
I love the packaging as well. It's beautiful.
The packaging, it's luxury.
Yes.
But there is so many other things that we did that were really big hits, like our foie gras. That was really the first thing that we did, and had a huge appeal, because suddenly we realized people were actually interested in alternative foie gras. And when we did our foie gras, which was based around lentils and roasted walnuts with soya sauce and cognac, and the texture was just like a perfectly made French pâté, and that was and people were mad about it, because
blown away by it.
Yeah, they tasted it, said, yeah, I can live with that. You know, I don't need to. So when people come to this conclusion, we have won a battle.
Yes.
We haven't won the war, but we have won a battle.
Yes. Well, I think I think there's so much ignorance around where animal products come from. I think because so many farms generally are shut down, people can't get into them, which is why activism is so important, to be able to go in and show people what's actually happening.
Yeah.
But I like to think that most people would not endorse what happens to animals, but I equally think it's unacceptable that people just close their eyes given how much education is available to everyone now.
Yeah, I know.
It's astounding. There's no excuse for it now.
No, I know, but it's... the human is not perfect. And I think it needs a lot of help. And chefs, and I always tell my chefs, we are so important because we are not going to make anyone change. Unless they have like you and me, an awakening. But it's going to be very difficult to make them change the way they eat unless the alternative is delicious.
I agree.
If the alternative is not delicious, and that's the biggest problem at the moment, the alternative is not delicious. That's why high-end gastronomic, we have to put our gastronomic mind and into the deliciousness of all the alternatives.
Yes.
To be able to say, well, look, I know foie gras is delicious because that's a problem, foie gras is delicious. But let me introduce you to this alternative, which is foie gras, and it's as delicious. And so we did it with the foie gras, we did it with the caviar, and we did it with our goat cheese, for example. We have developed something I'm very proud because I come from the south of France as well. We have developed our own goat cheese, the exact same goat cheese that my mother will have in her cupboards, filled with olive oil, with laurels, with thyme, with black pepper, and this will be marinated for weeks. And then after, she will take it out of the bowl of olive oil, and she will put it on the table. We'll take some bread, we'll spread it, and oh my gosh, it tastes like south of France.
Yes.
It's a little bit of acidity, and you can taste a little bit of the flavor of of the goat, but the herb, the olive oil, everything perfect. And we have managed to
emulate that.
Yes, and when you have it, of course, anybody who loves goat cheese and have my cheese will say, well, you know what? Now you say I don't need to have a goat cheese because if I have that, it's just perfect.
Isn't there in plant-based foods because we've seen like Renaissance paintings, like art, everything that surrounds us indicates that it's about slaughtering a chicken or a goat or a cow in order to have a feast. What's your view on this? I think you've sort of explained it, I guess, with delivering a luxury experience, but do you find that there's any, you having conversations still about people maybe not seeing it as indulgent, as feasting on animals and animal products?
Yeah, I think when I have this kind of conversation, I always come to the conclusion that the old human, not the new one, but the old human, in its desire to control the world, controlling the animals, was totally part of the makeup of the old human. And the French are the biggest culprit of that because if you look at all the French king and controlling the animals was a way to say we control the world, and not only we control the animal, but by controlling the animal we make this control very French.
Yeah.
So and that's something that is slowly fading away thanks to people becoming more intelligent and more aware and more enlightened about that you don't have to control the animal to be the best human you can be.
Yeah, you don't need dominion.
No, and I think the future generation will look back and they will see that very clearly. They will see that there was something wrong about and I'm talking about the French because I am French but animals, slavery, colonization, everything was part of the same thing. So we have got rid. Yeah, we have got rid of quite a lot of it. The last one is a control of animals, but it's just a matter of time before we have before everybody has had the light switched on in their head.
I hope so. I mean, I'm not sure whether that will happen in this lifetime. I suspect the environmental breakdown might happen before the enlightenment of minds.
Yeah, maybe. I was thinking. Obviously, it's very sad what happened with COVID, but I was hoping that with what happened with COVID, people will come out of COVID and saying, "Yeah, we missed it." Just by that, now we need to stop meddling with animals, and but no.
I don't think there was enough coverage, though, on the fact that shoving a lot of animals into a contained space and pumping them full of antibiotics and not giving them due care.
Yeah.
I don't think there was enough of a link between that and the fact that these viruses can get out into the world.
No, I know, and
they focused on other things versus.
I'm amazed by how people, shut their eyes when you tell them, there is potential pandemic coming up, even worse than the one we have just gone
Bird
through.
flu is still an issue on many farms.
My gosh, of course, it was awful.
Yes, and if pig flu happens,
I mean,
the
pigs on this planet it's just atrocious. And when you know that a pig's got an IQ of a 3-year-old child when he gets slaughtered, it's even more heartbreaking.
You've got to look at their eyes.
No, of course.
I mean, they have actually human eyes with their little wrinkles.
Yes, they do. I mean, that's why we can actually, get some of their bodies and use their parts, on us. We are so close.
I know.
I mean, I'm hopeful that the future generation will be a lot more kinder.
Yeah.
Well, I think, obviously vegan gastronomy or vegan high-end dining can't be more sustainable than it is. I mean, it's the most sustainable way to eat. Full point. There is no. Firstly, because when you use animals, it's just naturally unsustainable. Because the last time I checked, you don't pick beef from a tree. It just doesn't fall and grow again. There is a life, it ends, and that's the definition of being unsustainable.
Yes.
So any vegan place is the most sustainable place. That's it. And anybody who still use animals and claim to be sustainable, it's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a lie.
It's a lie, and I can't believe
people still believe it.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of intelligence to realize that.
I agree.
When was the last time you find a sustainable chicken?
Yeah,
that just doesn't exist.
I know. Yeah, we donate to an animal sanctuary in Victoria called Victor's Mission.
Okay.
And you can go and do tours there and see all the animals, beautiful. And there's a lot of education there, which is amazing. And I mean, visiting there in 2015 was one of my sort of turning points, or mine and my partner's turning points. But to even learn that, chickens should probably be laying like 12 eggs a year sort of thing.
Yes.
And
should be living 25 years. I know.
And all their calcium goes into making their little shells, and so their legs barely work. It's such a horrific way to treat a sentient being. It's incredible. Of course. And the turkeys and
it's atrocious.
It's atrocious.
Yeah. I know.
Not to mention, I mean, I don't even think we talk about fish enough and what's happening in the oceans. The fact that we've got all these dead zones in the oceans, let alone how the actual fish and the bycatch and all the rest of it that's happening with the trawling of fishing. It's horrific.
Yeah, I like to think that in every high-end restaurant there will be a majority of plant-based creations, and for those who have to rely on the animals, hopefully they will not rely on battery chicken or
industrial farming.
Because I know some farmers who share the same love to animals than I do. And I know some farmers who understand what I'm saying, and they, as I said, they share the bat. Obviously, the difference is taking, but until the moment the animal die, they love the animal like.
There's high welfare.
Yes, and the problem is how do you kill the animals? When do you kill the animal? How do you prepare the animal? I don't know. But anyway, so but again, there is also the ingenuity of the human being, with stem cell growth of animal, which can be perhaps a way for people to carry on enjoying eating animal texture, animal flavors, animal fat, without ever having to kill an animal. If anything, you have to keep them alive in order for them to provide you with the stem cells that you are going to be able to grow your mass from. And that might be a future. I mean,
possibly,
I've seen some amazing stuff being done, especially with animal fat, where a vegetable mass is being mixed with stem cell developed beef fat, for example, and when you cook it, it's got this delicious. I was gonna say delicious, but yeah, it got this delicious flavor of, let's say, the chicken or the beef, the fat it comes from.
Yeah.
And no animal has been slaughtered for that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I also think that we just need to get over our vanity. And why does it all need to be about, you know, what we want and what we need, and everything else has to suffer as a result of that?
I know, but you're talking about the definition of a human who, since the day he was born, is very much me.
Oh, absolutely.
But you're right. There may be a future where there is, you know, a compassionate revolution, maybe because of the planet being destroyed, or because there is a massive war and people. And then they become so compassionate with one another and with the other non-human they share the world with, and they becomes, you know, it becomes natural to be vegan.
Yeah.
You know? But that's.
Yeah.
I'm very hopeful, but it's going to be tough.
It's still an aspiration.
Yeah. This compassionate revolution is really the future of the humans. But when are they going to start it? When it's the first day, when there is no more tomorrow? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. You give thought to a legacy?
No, other than leaving my recipes behind, and for people to.
Do you write them down?
Yes, and I publish them for free for everybody to.
I did not know that.
Yes, yeah.
I'm sorry that I didn't know that.
No, you don't have, because we just started. But we don't want to sell the recipes. We want to give them for free for everybody to
amazing,
to take them, and to maybe there will be some chef who will take some of my recipes, and we say, yeah, actually we should do that, and I will inspire more chefs to be more creative with plant-based. And it comes from a restaurant that works. It doesn't come from a restaurant that there is nobody.
Yeah.
The recipes we put, they are eaten by real people who pay real money.
Yes.
And those recipes, they are like, they work.
Yes.
Because you can get money out of it. So I publish the recipes as much as I can. And I mean, there are some recipes we develop our flan parisien, you know, like a French custard tart.
Yes.
Plant-based. And my pâtissier who developed that promised me not to share the recipe. So
fair enough too.
This one will keep it. I always say this is our secret recipe.
Yeah.
But for all the others,
that's valid.
We'll put them out.
Yes.
And we want people to play with it, maybe develop, maybe do better, maybe and inspire young chefs to hopefully do more. And I think this is how it grows, you know.
I love that concept. I heard, I went to a seminar years and years ago, and they were talking about brands, fashion brands, ones that were a bit stagnant versus ones that were innovating. And the metaphor or the analogy they used was, there are some brands that are cakes, and therefore they're cooked, and you can cut it up into whatever, 12 pieces, and it's eaten and it's done.
Yes.
Whereas there's other brands that are recipes.
Yes,
they're just
good.
Constantly evolving, and I think that is the beautiful thing about innovation.
Yes.
You're taking a base idea or a concept and able to develop on that.
Yes, and that was really 120 years ago what happened to the French gastronomy when a chef called Gauthier actually started to repertory all the French recipes, and French chefs have been using this as a basis of, you know, the foundations of the French gastronomy. We need to move away from that. It's time to move away, and hopefully what we are doing here, in a way, is going to be a sort of a wild way to get inspiration from French gastronomy and to build on that.
And accelerate elsewhere.
Yes, accelerate, and more chefs put their creative juice into the mix. The more and more we are going to create this delicious food that I was talking before.
Yes.
That people hopefully cannot live without.
Yeah.
You know, they come to, oh my God, I cannot live without, I don't know, smoked tofu, But yes, there is a smoked tofu at the potential of becoming a food that appeals to everyone.
Yeah. There's a restaurant in Melbourne. I don't know, have you been to Australia?
I've been to Australia a long time ago. I went to Sydney and to Cairns.
Okay, that's random, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, Muriel's wedding.
Quite lovely. Yeah, Muriel's wedding. I'm from Melbourne, and there's a restaurant in Melbourne.
I would like to go to Melbourne.
Yes, you need to come to Melbourne.
One of my old chef has got a bakery just outside Melbourne.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll send you his details.
Please do.
Yeah.
There's a restaurant in Melbourne called Smith and Daughters.
Okay.
Shannon Martinez is the chef, and it's a vegan restaurant, and she's done a lot of development over the years. It's an amazing restaurant to try. So if you come to Melbourne, please let me know.
I will need to try it, yes.
What's one misconception about vegan food you'd love to put to rest once and for all?
Oh, there's so many.
Yes, I know. That it's boring, that it's tasteless.
Yeah. And I was going to say that vegan food is not just a tofu and white tofu and salad leaves,
Absolutely.
Or courgette risotto in a restaurant that there's so much more to that. But that's it. The sliced white tofu cold with salad next to it.
Describe the future of food. And I feel like you've already explained this, but I just want to wrap it up with your conclusion, I guess.
Well, the future of food is as I said, hopefully more and more chefs putting their creative skills into the development of plant-based cuisine. Not perhaps because they want it, but hopefully because their customers demand more of them putting their creativity into the mix. And that creates some of the most amazing, exciting plant-based dishes, and people, they don't think about going to a restaurant with animals or a restaurant vegan. They just go to a restaurant and the food is delicious regardless whether there is animals or not.
Absolutely.
And I think that would be I mean, do you go to vegan? Is there a vegan restaurant? What do you mean vegan restaurant?
Yeah, the terminology won't even be.
Yeah, like we go to a restaurant and so I think that would be my dream future.
With climate change being what it is, and water shortages potentially becoming a bigger issue across the planet, and island sinking and all the rest of it, I wonder if hydroponics and growing things inside is going to be more and more profound, and therefore more appropriate to be nurturing the vegetable angle rather than the animal angle. Do you think, or not?
It should lead towards that, absolutely. But there will be some resistance from people who are just holding on to until the last drop of water that can be used for a cow. This is a problem.
It's a massive problem.
We are fighting about people who don't care about the future. They care about today. They care about
and what's in front of them. And I think, in Australia, it's a very big country, and people see water available, and they see vast expanses of land. And it all seems good, like, they're amongst nature, and there's only 27 million people in a country the size of the States. So they don't see that there's an issue there.
No, but I from what I read, Australia there is a problem. Because,
there is a problem, yes.
The dryness and the arid world is just going through one day there will be nothing left, just a big rock.
Yeah, I think, and deforestation is obviously a problem on the planet generally, oxygen, water, all the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite, hopeful.
Yes, I think we should end on a hopeful note.
I wonder what is going to trigger this, I was hoping intelligence of the human, I don't know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something, maybe new generations, they are going to... They love themselves at the moment, but maybe they are going to love the others one day. And when they love the others, they are going to integrate the animals and the planet will benefit. I don't know.
Yeah. Thank you, Alexis.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming.
Such a pleasure
all the way from Melbourne.
So inspiring. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.